everything's great. Around a month in, he asks you to be his girlfriend. Say yes. He checks all of your boxes. Super secure in the relationship. He's made it so clear he's invested. You're the only person that he wants to be with. Over time, you start noticing that he wasn't exactly honest about some things. That feels important to you. Intuition that you've spent a long time getting real close with and cultivating is telling you there's more to the story here and that you need to bail. What would you do? Would you end it? Well, I did. I broke up with him today, and maybe you guys can tell me if you would have done anything differently. Let me tell you a story. Before I tell you what he did, I want to say this. I think men have a tendency to misrepresent things in the early stages of relationships. Want to come off as more successful or more stable or just more of something that they're not. Like one guy that I dated knew how important the idea of community was to me, so he kept harping on how important it was to him because he was on this nonprofit and blah blah blah, how he was dedicating all his time to it. And it turns out that he was only on the board of this nonprofit because they would throw these big parties of parades where he could get really drunk for free. A different guy would tell me all these stories about this close group of friends he had, and he would go into a lot of detail about these people. So I'm like, great, there are people that I'm going to meet someday. But then once we started dating, I realized that that was an old group of friends of his, and he hadn't seen them in years, and he really didn't have any friends. It's usually something like that where they are really trying to put their best foot forward, but the foot isn't real. Just be honest with me about who you are. I feel like happened with this one. The guy that I'm dating, or was dating until today, he told me that he was the co-owner of a company. Contractor all of his life. He said that he worked for a company and that he and a few coworkers just didn't love the way that company was run, so they decided to leave, form their own company, and that's what he's been doing for work for the last couple of years. I didn't look into this. I just assumed that this was fact. I just assumed this was real. I never asked for the company name. I never did any more digging. I've been away for the last couple weeks. I've been back in Missouri with my family for the holidays, and he's back in Washington. He has been under a lot of stress, over that Christmas week, and it seemed to be financial stress from the conversations we were having. I'm thinking oh no, that sucks. Is something going on with the company? Is the company not doing great? Or is this just because work is slow over the holidays? What's happening? I start asking questions. Explains that they took a contract for a property management company, did a ton of work for them, and they haven't received the check for that work. The work was done over 2 months ago. I've worked in business operations, finance, project coordination, the majority of my career. And so I'm like, hey, maybe you guys just need a bossy ass bitch in the office to go collect that money. I'll have it to you in 2 business days if you tell me who it is and give me the contract. His response was kind of odd to me. He's like, no, it'll come through. And tried to abruptly cut it off and just say, it'll come through. Really recently, I asked him hey, did that check ever come in? And he said, no, still hasn't come in yet. Just his portion of it, I think, is over $8,000. So I'm like, what is going on here? He then mentioned his co-owner. Let's call him Jeff. Jeff is his co-owner. And he said that he was going to have to go to Jeff and just say, look, Jeff, I need this money. It's been over 2 months. I did the work. You need to at least pay me, and then you can go after the property management company for that. But I am your employee. I did the work, so I need to be paid. Wait, what? You aren't co-owner of the company. And this makes a lot of other things make more sense. I had asked them some questions about how they do their marketing or how they get these contracts. And he would give me these really vague responses and things just didn't super add up. And the thing is, I don't care if you're an employee. I don't care if you own the company. I was not deciding on being with you based off of either of those factors. What bothers me is that you lied to me about it. It brings me to the next one. There's something else that I feel like he's lied to me about. lied to me about his work situation. Now this video, I'm going to tell you about some other shit that he lied about. Just for some context here, I was an opiate user for about 15 years, the vast majority of 15 years of my life. I did a really good job of hiding how bad my addiction was from others. No subject that I know better than addiction. I started to see some concerning things. The first month that we were dating, when I was back in Washington, we would go out all the time, and he would just have a drink here and there. I never once saw him get drunk. Alcohol was never really an issue for me, so it didn't bother me, him drinking around me. When I left Washington to come to Missouri to visit my family over Christmas, I noticed that his texting changed significantly from afternoon to evening. Very different than that first month. Evening hit, he would start texting excessively, being like overly lovey-dovey, telling me how much he missed me, just being very like reminiscing, and over the course of the evening, his texts would start to get like confusing or be misspelled. I didn't read a lot into it. I think it was alcohol because I had never seen him drunk. A week went by of this, and then one day he called me and said that he wanted to talk to me about something, that he wanted to come clean, and he told me that he had been drinking every day since I'd left, and he wasn't feeling good about it. He claimed that it was just the stress of being, me being gone, that it being Christmas, not having any work at that time because he's a contractor, being away from family, just like he blamed it on a bunch of different things, but he said that he recognized that he was kind of sliding into this not great habit and that he wanted to start going to AA again. And I was like, awesome. I fully support that. And to be a supportive partner, I was like, hey, I'll go to an AA meeting on Christmas. Why don't you go to one there on Christmas? We can talk about it after. He agreed and said that he would do that. You think he did that? No. He came up with an excuse for why he couldn't do it that day, but said that he would do it in the following days. Never went, and then on New Year's Eve, he got really, really drunk to the point that we got into an argument. Next day, apologizing over and over, and then saying that he was going to do dry January. It's only 4 days into January, and he has drank 3 of those days. Last night, while he was drinking, he actually tried to gaslight me. He said, I just need you to trust me. I just need you to trust me that I'm always going to do what's in the best interest of us. I need you to trust me, even if I'm drinking. He's like, this has been an issue with all of my exes. All of them didn't like my drinking. We would get into fights about it. And when they didn't trust me, it makes me irritable and reactive. And of course, my reply was, are you fucking kidding me? Are you so serious right now? You're going to try to turn this around on me and say, it's my fault. It's my fault that you're irritable and reactive because I don't trust you while you're drinking. No, that is not what's happening here. Around and around on this for a little bit, and I finally got to the point where I'm like, I can't even talk to you when you're like this, when you're drunk. Like, I can't even talk to you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. This morning, after I had a chance to sleep on it, I sent him a voice memo basically saying, I will never be in another relationship where I let a man gaslight me over fucking anything. I give a fuck what it's about. He is confused if he thinks that this kind of manipulation is going to work on me, and that's exactly what it is. It's manipulation. And this isn't a moral question of whether his drinking is good or bad, or if he's a good or bad person. It's simply a question of, am I okay with this in our relationship? And I'm not. So I'm going to have to end that relationship because you have shown me time and time again that you cannot keep your promises when it comes to this specific subject. I've worked way too hard and come way too far to get myself to a stable, healthy place. And I can do bad all by myself. I can do shitty all on my own if I want to. I don't need a man for that. So we're done. Once he woke up sober, listened to the voice memo, of course, he wanted to talk about it. And said that, he's going to get back on track, he's going to get into NA, he's done drinking, blah, blah, blah. I have a lot of empathy for addiction. I have a lot of compassion for it, but it is not my job to handhold a man through this process. We just started dating. No, it sucks. I'm sad. I really liked this one, but I'm not going to put up with it. I just won't. Hope you guys are having a beautiful new year, and I hope it's better than mine.